I'm assuming I'm recording here, yeah. Anyway, here we have finished the welding over here. Got some more grinding to do. I've, yeah, the floorboard is welded to the inner rocker panel, and the outer rocker panel I've now reinstalled it back to the floorboard. Now I had to add a little bit of metal here because there was a couple of holes. I'll play with it some more. This will all be sanded and everything. You'll see it. It'll be done. I had to add a little piece here because the brace is right here, and there was some rust spots here, so I had to add a piece here. But I think that the weld's good. I know the weld's good. There's no question about it. We still have a little bit more work to do, but you know, she's solid, and that's what counts. I just hurt my hand. All right, she's solid. And then of course I've got a few holes in the back to repair. Under the car, I'm not going to go under there at the moment, but under the car you got your brace here, so you really don't see any. You don't see any welding there. And then over here there's a flange. The factory panel had a flange, and that's what you see underneath the car here. It's welded on the top, and you got a natural flange. And these are all butt welded, and I've grinded it a little bit under the car, so you see a little bit here. You really don't see anything in the front. It's nice and tight. So turned out real nice. Turned out real nice. And we'll get the rest of the floor equally as good. And nobody ever sees a floor anyway, so if you can get it this well, I think it's okay. I guarantee you she's strong as a bull. Stronger than any old bull. And yeah, I think I'm gonna enjoy this. I had to put a little weld there, a lot of weld there, because she was screwing up. But she's done. We'll get there. A lot of grinding though. I still got about another hour or so's grinding before I, you know, seam seal it and paint it. And, well, I'm not gonna. I'll prime it and I'll paint it when I get to the back. All right, guys. Show you, next step when I come back. Talk to you later. Yeah, I turn this damn thing off. Okay, I'm back. Pretty much haven't done a lot today. I've cleaned up the sill. This is where I had to split the sill to lift this up to set the tray and set the pan underneath of it. But it's done. It's in pretty good shape. I had a couple of holes here, so I welded them up and I've grinded them down so the contour is there. I just need to put a little bit of putty to smooth it out. I also hit it with acid, so it's pretty clean. I don't believe I have a problem there, but that is what it is. Of course, that's my standard word. It is what it is. This is pretty smooth, although I do have a little bit there I could probably knock down. What I did here is the pan actually came up and then down. I'm using the famous My Friend Pete pointer. It came up and then it went down, but it was only drilled on the edge, and I just didn't like that. So I hammered it down even with the inner well, and I welded it very good. You can barely see the welds inside the floor band, but I'm telling you what, I don't think I have a problem. Now I have a little low spot here that I'm going to have to fill up. Really, it's under the sill. It doesn't really make a difference. And I had to make a piece that went around here, tied it in. But the weld is pretty good. It's pretty solid all the way. Everywhere you can see, the weld is there. Not crazy about my grind. You know, you get tired after a while, but I think that's pretty much it. Now a little bit of putty, a little bit of paint, and on to the next thing. I'll prime this and get it ready for the next phase. Well, I still got a lot of sanding to do once I get all the metal work done to get it ready. You know how it is. I keep saying that. Better watch myself. Alright guys, I just thought I'd bring you back to give you an idea of what I've done so far. And there she goes. Talk to you later. Alright, what you can see here is you can see I've cleaned all the metal with acid. So that, I've done the front, as you can see. That's all welded in place back to where it was. You can actually, to give you, here's a bad spot that I'm gonna have to fix, but it's such a small spot that I'm just gonna patch it. I'll cut it out and patch it. There's some spots there. Okay, and I've tested the metal. There's spots here, 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 and here. And I'm gonna try to back it up with copper and weld those in. Here, it's solid metal. That black is the acid that is dried. So I think I'm okay there. Over here, this is in beautiful shape. This is in absolutely beautiful condition. It's hard to believe this is a 1969 Camaro. You would expect a lot worse from a 69. This back section here, that's the acid still inside it's still inside the hole, but it's as you can see, it's just clear. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, shiny metal. And that's amazing. It's amazing. That's all residue from the acid. It'll wash off. It'll wash off. Now, I had two bad spots. That's one bad spot in the floor. And this is another bad spot in the floor. What I've done is I've cut it out. And as you can see, there's plenty of good solid metal all the way around. I have one little teeny spot there. What I intend on doing is having a section like this made. Buddy of mine's a metal man. He'll cut it out for me. And you can see that there was a stamp here. I don't think he'll be able to duplicate that stamp, but he'll emboss an X, two lines, with his roller, with his bead roller. And what I'm going to do, hopefully, is right here, you see a ledge, a lip. I'm going to have this made a little longer, and I'm going to flange this if I can. And if I can't, I'll flange the new metal to go on top of it. And, weld it to there. If I can do that all the way around, I think I should be okay. Then just seam seal the bottom, or weld it, whichever. I'll make my decision. I got the frame right there. Frame was not attached to the floor, so it's not a problem. It's nasty, filthy. Now I'm going to pull these. I'm going to replace the rear end. So here's your upper control arm. While I'm here, it gives me easy access. I'll loosen up the bolts, get them ready to take out, so that when I do that, I'll clean this, pull the bolts out, and I should be okay. That's this side. Now, as you can see over here, same deal. I cut it at an angle there because that was the rust. I just wanted to take out the rust only, and I did. Let's see if I can give you a full shot. It's hard to get around here to videotape this, but that's the floor. And I cut it out, and you can see the nasty portion of this top frame, which will be cleaned. Same thing. Upper control arm, easy access, so I will loosen that bolt if I can. At this one I have better metal to the side going back, so I won't have the access on the far side that I did, that I do on the other side. But that's it. That's all the holes in the floor. And once I get that done, why is the camera not adjusting properly? Let's see if I do this. There you go. I'm not used to the camera thing. Once I do this, as you can see, rust, no rust. And when I replace it with new metal, I'll take more pictures so you'll see it. I'm not worried. This is underneath the rear floor, you know. See, there's a hump there. There's the back seat slides into that. So it's underneath the back seat. So, you know, as far as appearance sakes, no one will ever see it. And as you can see, this is in great shape. I took all the seam seal out just to get a good idea. It's in perfect condition. I mean, this is a 1969. You know, those are the factory welds to weld the inner well on. I did some nasty welding there when I welded the new outer well on, but I don't care. Then again, this is behind the back seat. I may grind this down a little better. I don't know. But I had to, you know, I replaced the outer rocker, and that slides underneath that panel, so that panel had to come up. So anyway, it came up, it's welded, and it's back down, and I'll grind it some more probably and clean it up before I finish painting this whole inside. Hopefully I'll paint this whole inside black. But you know, I'm really surprised. Everything turned out really nice. This is the weld where I joined the tunnel. This is garbage where I joined the tunnel, and you know, it's pretty good. I could grind it some more if I wanted to, but why? It's underneath the carpet, and underneath of it's got a flange, so it looks like a straight line going across. It's in good shape. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. When you restore a car, I mean, there's 1,000,001 different ways to do it. And if you got a lot of money and you can replace the entire floor plan, that's great. But when it's in this great condition, I mean, if you take a look at it, the metal, there's the weld in there, and I'll clean that up before I put it back together again. I mean, it's brand new. It's as the day it was left the factory. You know? Now that's nasty weld because I replaced the outer rocker panel. I mean outer wheel well, and you know, you've got to slide it up in there. It's a real pain in the ass, but I did it. And you know, this is in perfect condition. This is why I bought this car. The floor was in such great shape. Trunk is just as nice. Anyway, this is where we're at, and I'll bring you back later when I have everything nice and clean and the new panels made. I've got to go call my buddy Billy. Billy's got a YouTube site where he demonstrates metal making, panel making, and all that sort of thing. Y'all should visit it. He's also into motorcycle. Well, I can't remember the name. Bronson. There was a Here Comes Bronson, that movie. He reproduced those Harley Davidson motorcycles, and he's got videos on that. They're really cool. He's taken them up to Mexico and driven in some incredibly tall mountain roads with those motorcycles. And yeah, Billy's a good guy. He's one of the guys that hang out with me over at Burtonsville. I just can't wait to get rid. When I saw that, it broke my heart, but this is not too bad. We will clean it all up. Everything will be nice and clean and new, or at least close to new. Anyway, that's all she wrote for now. I'm just impressed with the way the rest of this metal turned out. I mean, look, the rivets, the welds, you can see them. They're in beautiful condition. Well, when I clean it, you'll see it even better. Talk to you later, guys.